can't believe what's going on here. All this work we done, and they getting it paid.
Ain't gonna want no more.
They on the payroll.
We tired and all worked out.
We worked just hard and day.
And besides that, we had 2 of our brothers get killed in the garbage truck.
Man, it comes to me too, man.
Man, something gonna be good about this. No, I am a man.
You know what? That's why Luke said he don't want no violence, but stuff got to be done.
But we gonna do something.
Let's go.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Work was entered into the Mason Temple. It was in March of 1968 when Dr. King came to Memphis to help support the black garbage workers for better pay and better treatment. As they entered the sanctuary, Reverend Ralph Abernathy takes the microphone to introduce the speaker of the hour.
Let the church say amen. Amen. Truly it's a blessing to be back in the house of the Lord one day at a time. Church-wide, it's a blessing to be here today. Some dark times in Memphis, Tennessee. Sanitation workers are being treated like they don't even matter. But I want you to know that the plea has entered into high heaven. God sent you a Moses to tell the man to let my people go. He sent this man in the form of Dr. Martin Luther King. So without any further prolonging on my part, I would like to introduce to you at this time the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Thank you very kindly. As I was listening to Ralph Abernathy, as he spoke with those eloquent and generous words, and I thought about myself and I wondered who he was talking about. It's always good to have your closest friends and associates to say something good about you. And Ralph is one of my best friends in the world. I'm delighted to see each of you here tonight. In spite of the storm warning, you reveal that you're determined to go on anyhow. There's something happening in Memphis. And there's something happening in our world. Now, we need all of you. But you know what's beautiful to me is to see all of these ministers of the gospel. It's a marvelous picture. Who is it that is supposed to articulate the longings and the aspiration of the people more than the preacher? Somehow the preacher must be an Amos and say, let justice roll down like water and righteousness as a mighty stream. Somehow the preacher must say with Jesus that the Spirit of the Lord is upon me because he has anointed me to deal with the problems of the poor. Well, it's all right to talk about the long white robes over yonder and all of its symbolism, but ultimately, the people want some suits and some dresses and some shoes over here. It's all right to talk about the streets flowing with milk and honey, but God has commanded us to be concerned about the slums down here and his children, which are not able to eat 3 square meals a day. It's all right to talk about the New Jerusalem, but one day, God's preachers must talk about the New York, the New Atlanta, the New Philadelphia, the New Los Angeles, and the Memphis, Tennessee. Now this we have to do. Well, will happen now, I don't know. We have some difficult days ahead. But that doesn't matter with me now. I've been to the mountaintop. I just want to do God's will. And He has allowed me to go up the mountain. And I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. Now I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. So I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Because my eyes have seen the glory of the coming.
It's getting cold outside. You need to put a jacket on before you leave.
Solomon, you always take care.
Thank you, Dr. Dean. I tried to. What we having tonight?
Meanwhile, in room 306, shortly before 6 p.m., Reverend Abernathy and Dr. King put on their coats and were about to leave the motel. Reverend Abernathy hesitated and said,
What you doing?
At 6:01 p.m., as Dr. King stood behind the iron balcony rail in front of room 306, waving the crown, a shot rang out. Produced a huge amount of blood, and after ambulance took him away, all that was left was a huge pool of blood. As they took him away to St. Joseph Hospital, where he was pronounced dead at 7:05 p.m. Jesse Jackson, still in shock, had this time made his way from the balcony where he was hiding, dipped his hand into the huge pool of blood, and raised him to the sky, wiping him on his shirt. The dreamer is dead. but his dream still lives on. In Memphis, Tennessee, at the Lorraine Motel, yes, it was a shame. Somebody killed Dr. Martin Luther King. But the Lord will never put any more on you than you can bear.